What's up, everybody? We're gonna get ready to get started in just a moment, and we have a big show coming for you on this evening as we are getting prepped for training camp that is just a little under a week away. We're definitely going to get into that, and also we definitely have a huge announcement that's going to be coming. We're definitely going to be talking about that and things that are going to be coming up. And I mean, we got some very, very big things coming up for this channel, and I think I might have teased it a little bit. But now I am going to basically give a soft reveal of what we're going to do, and we're going to get ready to get started in just a minute. So hopefully everybody can hear me good. Definitely trying to make sure that the sound is good and that everything is in good shape and ready to go. And we're going to get ready to get started in just a moment. So make sure y'all share this show out. Make sure y'all tell everybody what's going on so everybody will know what we got coming up. And we're going to get ready to get started in we're going to get ready to get started in a little under 60 seconds.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody
Hear ye. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome into Titans and Truth. I'm your man Chris, aka Blue Enforcer, and we are going to have a very, very good episode on this evening. I'm back. I know I've been on a hiatus for quite some time, just trying to kind of take care of a few things, kind of get some rest a little bit, and also I've been trying to do a little homework on myself and things like that, and just trying to find different ways to make this show better, for myself, for you guys, and for everybody. So welcome into the show, everybody. Make sure y'all share this show out to everybody. Let everybody know that we are here. We are back. Hiatus is pretty much over. Make sure y'all share this show out. Definitely got to make sure we pay some bills on that. If you want some Titans and Truth gear, get with me at canell817@gmail.com. Also, you can reach out to me on any of the pages in the ticker below, whether it's on Facebook at Titans and Truth or on the TNT Enforcers page, fan page. You can hit me on Instagram at Titans_N_Truth, and also on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. And also, and again, definitely make sure that y'all do share this show out. Everywhere, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and definitely subscribe to the channel as well. Also, super chats are also very much appreciated as well. So if you want to help support the channel, to help support me as we try to make this channel even better for you, please do hit me up with a good super chat, and we will definitely keep that thing going, because it'll, like I said, we got a lot of big things coming up. Definitely going to be possibly making some changes to the show to make it even better, to make it more smooth, to make it more amazing for all of you. So I definitely thank everybody for supporting me and everything with that. So again, smash that like button, definitely smash it. Also hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, have it set to all so you can get the notifications for when I go live or when the show is coming up, so that way you know when the show is going to be coming, and then that way you'll be in the know as we get ready for this upcoming season. So everybody, welcome into the show, live from the Truth Studios here in the Man Cave, and we are going to get ready to get started as Titans training camp is right around the corner. We are 1 week away from training camp. The rookies will report, I believe, on Saturday on the 23rd, and everybody else will report on Tuesday, the 26th. That's when everybody else will report to camp as we get ready for the upcoming season. So vacation is over. Vacation is over. It's time to get into the grind, and that's exactly what we are going to do ourselves, is get into this grind as well, because I'm very, I'm a little nervous about this season. I'm not even going to front. I'm not even going to lie to everybody. How's that? Let's see, I know somebody said my mic was pretty high. How's that? Is that a little bit better? Hopefully I'm not too hot. Definitely trying to kind of keep it down a little bit. So let me know what y'all think. Let me make sure that the mic is not too hot. Hopefully the sound comes in good. So let me know that the mic is coming in good and it's not too hot with that. So, I'm definitely trying to stay within length. Okay. Alright, so okay. We still too high? Am I still too close? What y'all thinking? I'm just making sure, because I'm trying to work on the sound. I'm just trying to work on some different things with the sound as well, to try to make that better. So So there we go. We're going to definitely make sure. Let's see. Just trying to work the connections out a little bit. So y'all work with me on that. Okay. So let's see. Alright, how am I sounding? Everything good? I'm trying not to talk all the way into the mic. I'm just trying to make sure everything is good. So we're definitely going to keep going with that. I see Steve Crosio in the building. What's up with you? We got my guy P Sharp. What's up? Yes, we are back. 615 Podcast. Lee has been doing a lot of work. Has been putting in a lot of good work. Had a nice media round table. That was pretty good. So y'all definitely check out 615 Podcast. Titan Pratt, what's going on? D09, I see you. So I see everybody. Yeah, like 615 said, yep, no more vacation until February, so that sounds about right. So hopefully everything's going good. The mic is sounding much better, so forgive me, y'all work with me on that. Definitely trying to make sure that the mic is good and everything. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. And the main thing that we're going to be talking about, we're going to break down some positions. We're going to break down each of the positions and just, I have a question about each of the positions, and we definitely, what I'm expecting to see with training camp, what could happen, and also what I could expect as far as expectations are concerned at each position. So, this team coming off of a 12-5, season, they win the AFC South, they get the number 1 seed, they get to host to play a divisional round game in Nissan Stadium, only to have the Cincinnati Bengals come in and steal one that they didn't deserve and got them all the way to the Super Bowl. So definitely not happy about the outcome of that particular game, but we gotta move on. That was last year, that was last season. Last season is over. We got a whole new season coming. So, and speaking of that, the first position we definitely, have to get to is on the offensive side of the ball. And so, here are the stats for the offense. You got an offense that, was 15th in points scoring, 17th in yards. They ran the ball well, 5th in running the ball, 24th in passing the ball, and they gave up 47 sacks. Definitely wasn't a great output for the offense. I mean, the run game was fine, but there was still a lot left to be desired everywhere else, without a doubt. And so the first thing we start with is the quarterback position. Obviously, Ryan Tannehill, is coming back. He's going to be the starter. The Titans did not. They did not go and trade. They did not go and trade for. They did not go trade for Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. They just believe so much in Ryan Tannehill. They believe he can bounce back. He had the whole, didn't show up for OTAs, but was on his boat, and things like that. So there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions when it comes to Ryan Tannehill. There's a lot of questions of if he really is the guy that can take us to the promised land. If he is the guy that can actually get the job done. So that's the question. That is a major question that Ryan Tannehill is going to have to answer. And so can he do that? Can he be that guy that, can be the leader? Can he bring it back for us? Can he do it? So that is the first question that I have. You got Tannehill as a starter. You got Logan Woodside, who presumably will be the backup. And then you got Malik Willis. Malik Willis, of course, who drafted in the 3rd round. Now, he has not yet signed. So, he is not under contract just yet. He still has to sign his rookie deal. So, There's still some questions at this quarterback position. So what I want to ask all of you tonight for the quarterbacks is, can Ryan Tannehill bounce back? Can he bounce back? Can he take this team where they need to go? And I'll get to some of y'all comments and all that, but I'm going to go ahead and answer the question because some of y'all know how I feel about this. And, I'm just going to basically, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to hide behind it. I'm going to tell it like it is. And it's a simple, I don't know. I don't think he can bounce back. I hope he does. I want to be wrong. But the problem is, I have to admit, last year still has me stung. Now, I know Chris Frazier, that's his favorite guy in the whole world. He has a major man crush on Ryan Tannehill. He will die for Ryan Tannehill, so I know he loves him. D09 says no. Chris Frazier says if he got receivers, and we'll talk about receivers. CJ, what's up with you, sir? But I don't know if he can bounce back. I'm kind of in a wait and see mode when it comes to that. Y'all let me know how the mic is sounding. I'm trying to work out the sounding kinks a little bit. It looks like I'm maybe got a little bit too much. I mean, I got the gain kind of down a little bit, so I'm trying to. I'm definitely trying to work out a little trouble. So, but yes, the fact of the matter is, I don't know. It's not that he can't, I just don't think he can. I don't know if Ryan Tannehill is the right guy to take us to the promised land. So, that's going to be the major question. That's going to be what we're going to be looking at all year. He seems like he's a little bit more motivated. It looks like he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder because he's heard all the negative things that have been said, as far as he may not be able to do it anymore. He may not be able to produce like he did back in 2020 and 2019. So that's going to be the question with that. Also, what does Malik Willis bring to the table? Could he unseat Logan Woodside as the backup? That is an excellent question as well. And, that's going to be something that we really will be addressing is, can Malik Willis be that backup quarterback? I think they carry 3 quarterbacks, but I just don't see Malik Willis unseating just yet, unless he has just an excellent preseason. But we don't want to be in a position where we are one injury away or a bad stretch of games away from turning it over to Malik Willis. You don't want to be in that situation, because if you are, it's not a good situation to be in. So we got Stag Flag. I'm trying to see how can I say this. Stagflation Nation. If Ryan has the pieces around him, well, that's the thing. We're going to talk about some of those pieces. CJ says it's going to be a mixture that will get us there. Malik and Teddy combined can do it. Like how the Saints use 2 quarterbacks. We're definitely going to find out. We're definitely going to see about that. So, I don't know. I don't think he can. I'm not saying he can't. I just don't think he can. But we're going to find out. We are really going to find out who Ryan Tannehill truly is. The next position is the running backs. And of course we know Derrick Henry, the king. only had 937 yards rushing last year because he got hurt in the game against Indianapolis. And, he's bouncing back from that game. He's bouncing back from that injury that ended the season. And, he came back in the playoff game. Didn't look completely the same as usual. But, Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. We know, how he is. We know he's a machine. He's a machine. He had to repair some wires and get it together. The king is back. The beast will return. And he could return with a vengeance. Maybe similar to what Adrian Peterson did when he came back from an ACL and ended up winning MVP that following year. Torrey Carter, of course, is the fullback. Other guys, you got Dontrell Hilliard, you got the drafted Hassan Haskins from Michigan, Trent Cannon, who could be a return guy. You got some undrafted guy Julius Chestnut, and Jordan Wilkins, who was on the roster last year. So, was on the practice squad last year. So, my next question in dealing with the running backs is simply this. Who backs up Derrick Henry? Who backs up Derrick Henry? Is it Dontrell Hilliard? Is it Hassan Haskins? Could Trent Cannon get the job as a return specialist? Do they end up carrying 5 running backs? Because you got Derrick Henry, Torrey Carter. You're probably expecting Hilliard and Haskins to be there, so that's 4 right there. And then Cannon might be that 5th if he's a returner. So, does Haskins become that number 2 if he, shows he can block and pass protection and he can catch passes out of the backfield? Maybe he's the second guy. Or Hilliard's that third down back. So, who do y'all think is the second back behind Derrick Henry? I'm going to say right now I think it's Dontrell Hilliard, but I think going forward it could be Hassan Haskins. And I think Haskins, could be the guy if Derrick Henry breaks down again, or if it gets to the point where they get rid of Derrick Henry, they turn the reins over. They can turn the reins over to Hassan Haskins. I think he's the future. But I think Dontrell Hilliard, is that third down back at the moment. And that's just me. So, 615 comes in with Haskins and Hilliard. Will be sitting behind Derrick. It says there'll be 2A and 2B. Frazier's going with Hilliard. Let's see, 615 says keep it 4 running backs. Yeah, I think Dontrell Hilliard's the number 2. At least right now. T-Town Brown says I think Hilliard is the third down back. And that's what I think too. Now, I do think Hassan Haskins will get some carries, maybe on first and second down to kind of spell Derrick Henry at times and everything. But I do think Dontrell Hilliard is that third down back. That's what I see coming out of, that particular position. And the question is, how does Derrick Henry respond? I don't think Derrick Henry runs for 2,000 yards again. Although, hey, I think he has the potential to break the record because he was well on that pace last year. And, now that A.J. Brown is gone, Derrick Henry tends to do well when there's a stacked box. And he's going to get a lot of stacked boxes, for sure, going into next season. But I definitely think Derrick Henry will lead the league in rushing yet again. So that's kind of what my thoughts are about that. The next position I'm going to go in is the tight end position. And so the tight ends, you got Austin Hooper, you got Jeff Swain, and then you got Chigaquanquo, you got Tommy Hudson, you got Bradley Moore, who I think the Titans really liked last year, but he got hurt and, missed the whole season. And then an undrafted guy who's more of an international sensation, I guess, from out of the country, Thomas Odukoya is another guy that's vying for a tight end spot with that. So, the tight end position is going to be extremely important. Austin Hooper was a big pickup. And I think that Austin Hooper and Ryan Tannehill, they seem to kind of gelled a little bit already. And, Chigaquanquo has, from what I've been hearing from TD and been hearing from others, he has looked really good in OTAs and in the rookie minicamp. Definitely looked good coming out of Maryland. Now, he still has to make sure he does some work in blocking, but the guy is an athlete. The guy could definitely turn into Jonnu Smith 2.0. But the question is, does Austin Hooper become the number one target for Ryan Tannehill? And can Chigaquanquo really make a huge impact? I'm not going to say he doesn't make an impact, because I think he will. He will definitely make an impact. But can he make that big impact? Because it looks like they're probably going to go back to more two tight end sets. And I think that'll be Hooper and Aquanquo in those sets. And I think Jeff Swain, even though they re-signed him, you got Tommy Hudson and Bradley Moore. And coming out of camp last year, a lot of people were really liking Bradley Moore and thought he had an outside shot of making the team, and it was extremely unfortunate that he got hurt and was out for the entire season. But the question is the tight end position going to be back this year? And I think Austin Hooper has the potential to be the number one target on this roster. I think he could definitely go back to how he was in Atlanta. I think they're going to use him similar to how he was used in Atlanta. And that could be very good, because Cleveland just didn't know how to use him. They didn't do it right. 615 says I put Chig over Swain. I think Chig has a chance to do some damage. And I think Chig has a chance in this offense to be a star. I really do. I think he could become a matchup nightmare if they do this right. I really do. I think he could simply become a nightmare matchup for that. CJ says the tight end will make up for the wide receiver. The old tight used to bank off for the tight end, so he feels pretty good about it. And I agree. I think we feel much better about this tight end position this year than we did last year. Last year, didn't feel so good about this tight end position. Really didn't. And I think that the tight end position has a chance to be really good. I do. I think they could be really, really good. No doubt about it. So I like the tight end position a lot. Next up, we got to talk about it. The two positions that I am the most worried about. First off is the wide receiver position. And I have Robert Woods and Treylon Burks. I have Treylon Burks starting by default. It is not that I really think Treylon Burks deserves that spot. He has to earn it, and right now, we don't know what he's going to be. We have no idea, because he hasn't gotten off to a really good start. He, has been struggling with the asthma. He's been struggling with conditioning and making it through practice and things like that. So that is a problem. Robert Woods, of course, has been at practice coming back from the ACL injury as well. You got Nick Westbrook-Akina, who, of course, is one of Mike Vrabel's favorites. You got Kyle Phillips, who we drafted in the 5th round. You got Des Fitzpatrick. The offseason darling, that is Josh Malone. Titan Upload's favorite guy, Mason Kinsey. Definitely. A guy that I like in Reggie Robinson, and then you got Racey McMath as well. So there's a lot of wide receivers. I just don't see a lot of depth, but that brings me to the question. This brings me to the question that I have for everybody here. Who steps up at wide receiver? What is this wide receiver room? I mean, again, we don't know what Burks is going to do. He could, as the season goes on, he could get, he could get better. He could, and I'm sorry, I'm, doing some sharing a little bit. He could, become something. The question is, does he? And I just don't know with Traylon Burks. I think Robert Woods, will do something. I think Kyle Phillips will be that third slot receiver along with Nick Westbrook-Akina. And I'm gonna put the guys up one more time. This is what I think. Robert Woods will produce. Nick Westbrook-Akina will produce. I think Kyle Phillips can do something. Is Josh Malone really that good as he's the media dark? He is the off-season darling. We all have that one or two guys in the off-season that we all fall in love with. And right now I think that guy is Josh Malone. And so, what does this wide receiver room become? And right now my answer is, I don't know. That's the question. I don't know. Freddie says Burks unavailable. Okay, so T-Town Brown says, I want to see what Chig looks like in pass, straight line speed. Might look a little different. Also want to see how he holds up physically. And that's a good point with Chig. Definitely Chig has a lot of growing to do. And we'll definitely see how he looks in pads. D09 says, how do you come to minicamp out of shape? Makes no sense. Absolutely doesn't make any sense. 615 says, guys who don't make the roster, McMath, Robinson, and Des Fitzpatrick. We're going to find out with Des Fitzpatrick. And here, I have a clip. From 3HL. The 3HL were at SEC Media Days. And they interviewed head coach Sam Pittman from Arkansas, and they talked about Traylon Burks. And this is what Coach Sam Pittman had to say.
Made everybody everybody better, I think. You know how that goes.
Real quick, while we're on Burks a little bit, what do the Titans have with him?
Well, I've heard that he's had fighting asthma or whatever.
He had problems getting through OTAs.
You know, but what I believe, you've got a strong teammate. He has great ball skills. Once he gets his confidence, I mean, he's going to need that. I remember last year against Rice, he had dropped some passes. He wasn't playing well. He wasn't really a major factor in that game. He got some confidence as the game went on, and then the next game was, started being what I thought was a first round draft pick. But you're going to get a great team leader. The community's going to be proud of him once he gets once he gets in shape. I'm assuming he didn't go in there in great shape. It's the same way when he was a sophomore.
I read that you said that. Yeah.
He wasn't in good shape. He couldn't last practice and all. And it's not that he just quit. He just couldn't do it anymore. He just was out of shape. I don't know what hunting hogs does for your cardiovascular, but evidently not a whole lot.
Not enough, right?
Okay, so that was Arkansas head coach Sam Pittman on the 3HL. I believe it was yesterday, and they were talking about Traylon Burks. Basically, the way that sounded, I don't know if that was a great ringing endorsement for Traylon Burks. He basically said, that he has good ball skills and everything, but he came in out of shape his sophomore year and, has some confidence issues. So that doesn't exactly make me feel better, and it sounds like he has to be, it sounds like he's not a self-motivator. He has to have somebody else motivate him. And so again, I asked this question once before. I still feel like trading A.J. Brown was a big mistake. I really do. I think trading A.J. Brown was a huge mistake. And that's exactly what it still keeps seeming like it is to me. That this was a huge mistake. And drafting Traylon Burks might have been a huge mistake. And the thing about it is, it seemed like we had no choice but to draft Traylon Burks. Now, you could have drafted Trevor Penning instead. You could have maybe traded up a little bit more, and maybe you could have gotten Jahan Dotson or Jameson Williams or Chris Olave. Or if you had waited, you probably could have drafted Christian Watson. He signed with Green Bay, and I have to go back and look at some stuff on Green Bay, but it sounds like he's been doing some good. So, again, I think the Titans made a big mistake. T-Town says, Wendy shot to NWI is number 1 going into week 1. Woods may not have the chemistry with Tanny and physically may not be 100%. Who knows with Burks? I have no idea. Titans time, what's going on? Glad you're here. So, I don't know what this wide receiver room is going to be. I have no idea at all what this room is going to be. But we're going to find out. Now, I was looking at a podcast and they were talking about Robbie Anderson. Would be a nice trade if we did trade for him. I don't know if the Titans will do it, but that could be something. We'll definitely see. The last offensive position we got to look at is, of course, the other position I have a major question on, the offensive line. Now, from left to right, you got Taylor Warren, You're going to either have Aaron Brewer or Jamarco Jones at left guard. You got Ben Jones at center. Nate, who they re-signed. Nate Davis going into a contract year at right guard. And then you're presumably Dylan Raiders at right tackle. Although Nicholas Petit-Frere could possibly challenge for that, but I don't know if he's ready yet. You got, David Munyer, who I'm not really a fan of. Corey Levin, who I think could do some good as a backup. And then you have some other guys I'm not very familiar with. I mean, Christian DeLauro I am familiar with from preseason last year. But for the offensive line, which is also another question, because you have that battle for, you have that battle at the right, not right guard, but left guard. You have that question, who's going to start at left guard? Is it going to be Jamarco Jones, or is it going to be Aaron Brewer? And a lot of people think with Aaron Brewer, he was serviceable, but he's undersized, and, with Jamarco Jones, he wasn't really able to stick with quite a few teams, and, he had a couple stars, can line up anywhere, but hasn't really carved out a role for himself anywhere else. So, I think the question is, who starts at left guard? Is it Jamarco Jones or is it Aaron Brewer? And does Dylan Raiders prove he is the right tackle for the job? Is he the right guy for the job at right tackle? And let's see, 615 quarterback Josh Rosen signs a one-year deal with the Browns. We also saw, of course, Baker Mayfield got traded to the Carolina Panthers. Kyler Murray is getting a contract extension with Arizona. Got 5 years, I believe, $230 million, I believe $160 million guaranteed. So, what up, Herman? What's going on? So, this is what I think. Lee's going with Jones over Brewer. I'll go in the opposite direction. I'll go with Brewer over Jones. Brewer is familiar. Brewer is familiar with the system. Jamarco Jones, not yet. And, he hasn't really, we'll have to definitely see. We'll find out in camp. But I'm going with Brewer over Jamarco Jones. The offensive line, with LeBron, he had some of his issues last year and things like that. Nate Davis kind of had a down year last year. And now Dylan Raiders is probably stepping in at right tackle. They kind of had to force to start him now. And so, I like Raiders. CJ, you and me are in the minority when it comes to Dylan Raiders, because there are a lot of people that just didn't think Dylan Raiders did that good, although I beg to differ. I'm like, the game against San Francisco, I think he did an admirable job. But there are others that just want to say, nah, he wasn't really that good in the San Francisco game. I'm like, were we watching two different games? And that's just what it felt like. So, and of course, there was some, Mr. Jared Stillman, who was always down on Dylan Raiders, so it doesn't matter what he does, still won't impress, even if he has a good game. And like I said, CJ, I'm with you. Exactly. Dylan Raiders did a very good job against Joey Bosa. Against, not Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa. And because, Nick Bosa was on Dylan Raiders, and because he was having trouble getting to the quarterback, they switched him to the other side. So, I think Dylan Raiders did some good, but I think Brewer gets that first shot at the left guard because he has the experience with this group. So that's what I think when it comes to that. But y'all leave me your comments. Let me know what you think on the offensive line. T-Town says there's a toss-up. I think the ceiling is higher for Brewer. Size does concern. Size is an issue with dealing with Aaron Brewer, but he's gonna have to come up. He may need to gain about an extra 30 pounds or so, because you can't be like 270 pounds playing offensive line. You gotta be up there over the 300-pound mark, because if you're under 300 pounds, you're easier to move. You won't be able to have that leverage. Now, some guys are a lot stronger up top than at the legs. Some guys are stronger at the legs than up top. Maurice Jones-Drew, even though he's hated on the Titans song, the thing about him, he was small, but that guy has some legs. Tree trunk legs. So, and that's where he got most of his power from. So, that's something we'll definitely have to take a look at. But now, let's quickly move over to the defensive side of the ball right quick, and we talk about this defense. Man, now this is, I'm not really as excited about the offensive side of the ball, but I am really excited about the defensive side of the ball. I am extremely excited about this defensive side of the ball. I mean, they finished 6th in scoring defense, 12th in yards allowed, 2nd against the run. Now, they were 25th against the pass, but they didn't look horrible. A lot of those times, teams are having to throw to get back in the game. They have 43 sacks as a team, and the turnover differential, at one point, turnover differential was like -6 or -7, but it got down to -3. So that's something that it does need work as far as getting more turnovers, but of course some of that was Tannehill turning the ball over. And so, first spot we have to look at is the defensive line. You got Big Jeff, who, he had his 5th-year option picked up earlier this offseason. You got Danico Autry, who has been a breath of fresh air. Then you got Tier Tart and Naquan Jones. Which one of those guys is going to man the spot in the middle at nose tackle? But both of them are going to get equal time, because I believe they both had about 60% of the snaps. So it was kind of even split between Naquan Jones and Tier Tart, and I think that's going to continue. Other guys, you got Larrell Murchison, and this is a big off season for him, because I don't know if he makes the team. DeMarcus Walker, of course, formerly from Florida State, played with the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. I think he could carve out a spot. Some other guys like Deshaun Hand, Jaden Peavy, Haskell Garrett, who should have been drafted out of Ohio State. I think he has a strong case to make the team as well. So my question is, first off, will Big Jeff earn the big money accolades? Does he get, I'm not talking about Pro Bowl as an alternate. I'm talking about making the Pro Bowl, being like the first, being like the first guy selected in the AFC at defensive line. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Can he get that position, over some other guys like a Cam Hayward, to name one? Does he become an all-pro? The question was, of course, about his contract. Was he going to get the big money deal now? Because Aaron, he was named the second best defensive lineman in football behind Aaron Donald. and Aaron Donald just got $30 million a year. Does Big Jeff get that big money? I think the answer is yes. I think Big Jeff goes back to the Pro Bowl. I think he definitely has a chance to get All-Pro honors, and he's going to get paid. And I think, honestly, you kind of have to pay him, because you basically made the choice to choose him over A.J. Brown. That's what you did. You said you wanted, when you traded A.J. Brown, you basically said, I want Big Jeff instead. So I think Big Jeff does make the big money. I think him and D'Amico Autry continue to be that dominant force up front. And man, I like Naquan Jones and Tear Tart. Naquan Jones came out of nowhere as an undrafted free agent, and I think Haskell Garrett could kind of do the same thing. So I think they'll probably carry, 6 defensive linemen, and I don't think Larrell Murchison is going to be one of them. I think Larrell Murchison could get cut. I do. I think Murchison definitely gets cut. But I am very excited about this defense. Going next, let's go to the linebackers. And I'm including, of course, the edge rushers. As well. So you got Zach Cunningham and David Long. They'll be in the middle starting. Monty Rice will be third. And then you got Harold Landry and Bud Dupree, obviously. And then you have Chance Campbell, who you drafted in the 6th round, I believe. And you also got Dylan Cole, who played some. And then, of course, you got at the outside position, Rashawn Weaver, Ola Adaney, as well. So, obviously, at edge rusher, outside linebacker, you got Dupree, you got Landry, but you're also going to have Weaver and Ola Adaney, obviously. So, you're going to have at least 4 outside linebackers. Excuse me for that. I think Chance Campbell, because he was drafted, could be a special teams guy. So I think that's something that he could do. So I think we will have 8 linebackers. 4 outside linebackers, 4 inside linebackers, in my opinion. Excuse me. Now, my question is David Long. Does he have that breakout year, and does he earn a new deal? Because he's one of at least 3 guys from that great draft class in 2018 that is going into their contract year. Nate Davis, I mentioned earlier, is in a contract year. David Long is in a contract year. Amani Hooker, who we're going to talk about in a minute, is in a contract year. Can David Long break out and earn a new deal? I think he does get a new deal. I think he'll stay. I think Zach Cunningham and David Long, I think this linebacking core, including Autry and including Landry and Dupree, have a chance to be one of, if not the best linebacking core in the NFL. Landry had, of course, 12.5 sacks. I think he does have double-digit sacks again. I think Dupree gets into the double-digit sack party as well. And I also think that I think both of those guys, Zach Cunningham will be a tackling machine. I think David Long is going to continue to be a star. Because we've seen that in flashes, and we really saw it coming last year. So I think if Long, and I agree with T-Town. If he can stay healthy, absolutely. And I liked a little bit that I saw from Monty Rice. And, of Of course, 615 Podcast will remember how angry I was when they picked Monty Rice. Right now, it's looking like I might be eating some crow off of that. So I think David Long does get a new deal. I think he breaks out. Him and Zach Cunningham, I think are going to be great together. I really do. And Harold Landry and Bud Dupree, they're going to do what they do. And I have no problem with that. I think if Dupree can stay healthy, both of those guys are going to be double-digit sack guys. So I'm not really worried about that. Now to the secondary. This group has the potential to be boom or bust. And we're talking both corners and safeties. Now, safety I'm not worried about. I think Amani Hooker and Kevin Byard could both end up in the Pro Bowl together. Amani Hooker, again, he's in a contract year. He needs to get paid because he's done nothing but produce. Kevin Byard, we know he produced. Christian Fulton, I think, is a Pro Bowler in the making. He was definitely our lockdown corner last year. You didn't hear his name a lot, which meant he was doing his job. We drafted Roger McCreary early part of the second round out of Auburn. Very battle-tested against guys like Traylon Burks, against Jameson Williams, against Jahan Dotson. He went up against those guys. If you take a look at the upper right-hand side, the question mark is Caleb Farley. He is the oddball in this entire equation. And that is the question. Can Caleb Farley show something and stay healthy, and Fulton be a Pro Bowler? And Dion said the only thing I'm worried about the corners on defense, specifically Caleb Farley. And I get it. Caleb Farley is the anomaly of all of this. Because, again, if you go back to the graphic, we know Fulton can produce. We know Byard can produce. We know Hooker can produce. We got to see with Roger McCreary. He's still got to get signed. But Caleb Farley is the anomaly. You know, when I want to say Janoris Jenkins, I think, was struggling. He went down with an injury. And then, so Farley had to step in, I believe, against Jacksonville. And then he got his first start on Monday Night Football against the Bills, only to tear his ACL in that game against the Bills. And he had to, of course, be out for the remainder of the season. So, you know, he was already coming in with issues on his back and things like that as well. So, the healthy part is the major issue for Caleb Farley. Christian Fulton, I'm not worried about. Elijah Molden, he got better and better and better as the year went on. You got guys like Buster Screen, who did some things. Chris Jackson, Theo Jackson, who we drafted out of Tennessee. A.J. Moore. There's also Michael Griffin II, who of course is the son of former Titan Michael Griffin the first. I think Fulton is a Pro Bowler. I think he can make the Pro Bowl. I think Farley, I don't know. I gotta see if he can stay healthy. But if he does, he could be pretty good. And I think you will see some Roger McCreary as well. So I think they could definitely go 5 corner deep as far as, you know, you have Fulton, you have Farley, you got Molden, you got McCreary, you have Buster Screen in there at times, And then maybe sometimes you see Chris Jackson as well. Safety, I am not worried about. Of course, I love Byard. I love Amani Hooker. We'll see what Theo Jackson has to bring to the table as well. AJ Moore, of course, they picked up another former Texan. We'll definitely have to see with that. But I think if Caleb Farley can stay healthy, I think he has a good chance of being a very good player. And last but not least is special teams, which I'm not really going to dwell a whole lot of time on special teams because it's pretty simple. You got Fat Randy Bullock, Brett Kern, Morgan Cox. Now the question is about kick return and punt return. We really don't know who's going to assume those spots. We'll find out in camp very soon. Now, interesting note, you got Chad Shudak, the kicker out of Iowa, who, before he had a little bit of an injury, was looking like he might have a chance to unseat Randy Bullock. I think he has a little bit more distance to his leg than Randy Bullock does. And then Ryan Stonehouse, the punter out of Colorado State, I think he may not necessarily make the team. He could end up on the practice squad, and he could be a guy that's like, you know what, we got to prepare for life after Brett Kern. So I do think Ryan Stonehouse, we'll definitely see him get some kicks in during the preseason as well. So that is pretty much my entire look of the roster and this defense. I forgot to ask this question. Can this defense, who is top 10 in scoring defense, top 15, top 12 in yards per game, can they go from 6th to in the top 5, maybe even top 3? Can they become the best defense in the NFL? I think they definitely can become the best defense in the league, especially against the run. They have been amazing. And I think as long as we keep the pass rush together and they get after the quarterback, they're going to make the defensive backs' lives so much easier. So I think they have definitely the potential to be the very best defense. Wow, don't be surprised if Brett Kern is a release. I don't know if they'll do that, but we'll definitely have to see what Ryan Stonehouse brings, and we'll have to see what Chad Shudak brings. Lee saying defense is top 5 as a unit. Now again, they were 6th in scoring defense. I think they can move into the top 5. I think the ceiling is top 3. I think they can finish top 3 in scoring defense. And I think they can finish number 1 against the run. They got to show up some things against the pass, but this defense has the potential to be something special. I really do. And that brings me to another question, an old question that we brought up before, and I'm going to put this poll out probably later today or tomorrow, and we'll talk about this next week. Defense new name, Music City Mayhem or Nashville Nasty. Or if you have another name that you come up with, let me know about that as well. But these are just the two that I just think can stick, and it's just an embodiment of the city. I like them both. I think Music City Mayhem, MCM, could be really cool. So I could definitely see that. So y'all definitely give me your thoughts on that in the comments section and everything. But we're probably gonna get ready to wrap this show up. Definitely, but we definitely have a couple of very big announcements coming. First off, I want to tell everybody thank you for your support. If you've already subscribed to the show, if you haven't, please do hit that subscribe button, and also set your settings to all so you get all the notifications. So that way you will know when I do go live. That way you will be a part of that. So again, I say thank you to everybody, but the big announcement, and this is something that I've been working on. So if we could have a drum roll. It is we have 2 new shows coming into the Titans and Truth family. So these are 2 new shows that I'm going to be doing and everything. Also, I have another announcement as well. So first off, Down to the T is going to be coming very, very soon. Hold on a second. Down to the T is going to be coming very, very soon. Of course, we're going to be talking, it's a new show that's going to be talking all Tennessee sports. It's going to be talking the Tennessee Vols. We're going to be talking about the Memphis Tigers. Of course, the Nashville Predators, the Memphis Grizzlies. It's something that's in its infancy, but it's definitely going to be coming very, very soon. Hopefully around the time when college football begins to kick off. We're definitely going to be talking about some Vols football. We're going to be talking about Tennessee football, and I'm probably going to have I may have some people come on board who are very have special guests who are very knowledgeable when it comes to these teams, so that hey, I'm gonna be learning some stuff, and all of you could be learning some stuff too about some of these other teams. So I'm trying to branch out. Make sure you spread this word to Vol Nation, to Tiger Nation. Also, anybody who are fans of the Predators, we're gonna definitely try to start talking a little bit more about them. We'll definitely try to squeeze in a little bit of Vanderbilt and Middle Tennessee State if possible. That's the things I'm going to be working on. So I mean, it's good. Again, it is in the beginning phases, but it's something that's going to be coming very, very soon. And also another show that's going to be coming soon is called the Truth League Report is going to be returning, and we're going to be doing that on Monday nights. Down to the T, I'm still trying to figure out the day. It's either going to be a Friday or a Saturday. It'll either be Friday night or it'll be Saturday mornings. I will be doing Down to the T. And the Truth League Report, we're going to be doing that on Mondays. And so with that, we're going to be recapping. We'll be recapping all the games from Sunday, and we will preview, of course, the Monday night game as well. So we'll definitely do that. We're definitely going to have you're going to have information about other teams. So I'm going to be spreading this out as well to other fan bases. I'm going to be having guests from other fan bases on the show as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. as it's going to be coming very much in the coming weeks. We're definitely going to do that. I'll be starting off with some previews of teams from each division. So the first show that'll be coming up when it debuts, we're going to be talking, of course, about the other teams of the AFC South, and then we're also going to talk about the NFC South as well. So that's going to be the first show, and then, of course, we'll be talking about all the other teams. We'll probably be breaking down some of the moves that they've made and things like that. Definitely be on the lookout for all this content that's going to be coming your way. Definitely try to expand, definitely try to broaden my horizons and things like that. So, definitely I appreciate everybody that's been on the journey so far, but definitely get ready to join me on an even bigger journey. And also, Titans of Truth is not going anywhere. That much is a fact. Titans of Truth is not going anywhere, but with some new shows coming in, it's going to expand. This show will remain Titans and Truth. This is definitely going to still be TNT Tonight, Titans and Truth Tonight, but it will be a part of a new network called Truth Sports Podcast. That's going to be the name of the network. TSP is the name that we're going to go with, and we'll definitely be coming out. Be on the lookout for a new logo. Be on the lookout. Definitely going to be looking at some new gear with Truth Sports Podcast on it. Titans and Truth also will still be doing that as well. So again, Titans and Truth ain't going nowhere. Just making a few minor changes to kind of make things better, to kind of, expand a little bit. So that's definitely what we're doing. But Titans and Truth will be under the Truth Sports Podcast Network. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing. And very soon, we'll also be coming to Spotify and iTunes, where you can get all your podcasts as well. So, if you're not able to watch on YouTube, if you prefer just to listen on Spotify or iTunes, you could definitely do that. So this show and all of the shows will be on all podcast platforms where you get your podcasts: Spotify, iTunes. I believe another one is where you get Google Podcasts. I'm gonna try to see if I can even get on iHeartRadio as well. So definitely be on the lookout for that. So that is the big announcement. 2 new shows that are going to be coming to the very soon to be Truth Sports Podcast, Down to the T, and the Truth League Report, coming very, very soon. So definitely be on the lookout. Spread the word to everybody, and let everybody know that we got some big things coming. Again, if you haven't smashed that like button, smash the like button. Also hit the subscribe button as well. I'm finna get ready to get out of here because I gotta go eat and I gotta go take part in McAllister's free tea day before it's too late. So everybody, next week training camp will officially begin, and I'm going to give my 53-man roster prediction. So I'm going to tell you who I believe will make the team and who will not make the team. So everybody, thank y'all for tuning in to Titans and Truth. I'm your man Chris, aka Blue Enforcer. Everybody have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will see y'all next Wednesday night as training camp begins.